Hey, Loan Atlas family. I'm Josh Metal, and I'm here with my buddy Jim Juergens, who is a Loan Atlas member. He's been through several of our boot camps, and he just gave a presentation to 25 realtors that he's been trying to get in front of for several years. He was able to immediately create subsequent meetings with those agents and is already getting deals from it. So, Jim, thanks so much for being here, and tell us just a little bit about what you've been doing and how you're creating success.
First off, Josh, thanks for letting me come on. I want to say that, the agents I'm trying to get a hold of, that they do a lot of business, right? So finally get into the office, agreed to let them have me come in and do a presentation. Did the real estate professional of the future. I spent about 45 minutes with them. They were blown away at what we were doing and what we were trying to implement to really make a difference in the lives of our clients. So following that presentation, their top two people, actually one of them that afternoon and one of them the next morning, called me to set up one-on-one meetings with them. Their top
They called
agent,
you.
they called me following that presentation, say, hey, let's have coffee. Let's talk about this. How do we implement this? And within 2 days, I already had our first lead from them. We started talking about the financial transition plan, got them a listing as a result of that. And now we have the buyer from that same presentation. So that's all a testament to the Loan Atlas and the boot camps and the content there. What you guys do is amazing. It has made a huge difference in not only my personal business, but the business of the loan officers that work for me. So I cannot thank you guys enough. And you guys have done a tremendous job putting this all together. And just the content itself, as I told my loan officer this morning, what you guys have put together is the ultimate cheat code for growing your business. It's going to give them more excitement. They're going to learn more. They're going to be more energetic about building their business based on what they're learning on this platform. So I cannot thank you guys enough for everything you're doing, all the hard work you're doing. You've made a tremendous difference in my business and in my family's business. So, man, thank you guys so much.
I sure appreciate you, man. Thanks for the kind words. And one of the things that I recognize in you and the other people who have wild success inside the Loan Atlas is you're a phenomenal executor. Like, you don't just hear an idea and go, well, that's a great idea. I'm glad that worked for Josh, or I'm glad that worked for Ryan Grant. You go, oh, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put the Jim Juergens spin on that and use it the way that it fits for me and my market. And you execute really, really quickly. So let me ask you, and let's just get tactical around this meeting. You've been trying to get into this office for a couple of years. This is a kick-ass high production office in your area. How did you actually get the meeting? Like, what did you call? Did you visit? What did you say to them? And then just give us a little bit of insight, like 30-second overview of what did you present on?
So the way I got into the office was as part of what they teach in the Loan Atlas is you use every opportunity on every loan you currently have to try and get in touch with the agents and their transaction coordinators. So this particular office, I was on I had a buyer on one of their listings. Perfect. So we went in there, we're talking to the transaction coordinator, talking to the agents, updating them throughout the entire process, got done with that transaction, went extremely well. And we started talking to them at that point. We started sharing some things. I have a YouTube channel and do a lot of video updates. So I asked them, hey, would you like to be a part of that? Started updating them every couple of weeks. They saw the value we're adding there. And then I became friends with the transaction coordinator, said, hey, how do I get in there? What can I do to show you guys what we can do? They got me on the schedule, went in there, did the real estate professional of the future presentation, walked them through everything that I've been implementing for the last probably 8 months. And they were just blown away. They had never seen anybody come in and explain things the way we had, show the value of what we do, that truly the way we try and make a difference in our clients' lives, not just from hey, here's your rate, here's your fees, but hey, we really care about you. We want to make sure that you be able to create generational wealth. And we want you to be able to have a awesome, holistic, well-rounded view of real estate and finance. So we started talking about that. We ran through some of the things we do. And you should have seen the broker, the owner of the office, basically took over the meeting and was like, guys, no one else is showing you this stuff. No one else is coming in here talking about this stuff. I almost handed the guy the mic saying, here, you can take over the rest of it. So one of the agents referred us to somebody. I started running through the bulletproof buyer with them. And the news presentation in there. And as I was running through it, is a couple attorneys, very easy loan, very good debt to income ratio. I mean, it's pretty much a slam dunk. And I got to the end and started asking them, hey, do you see any reason why we wouldn't be a good fit for you? And they looked at me and they're like, man, we've been trying to close you on working with us. We were hoping you'd want to work with us based on everything you do. So yeah, we're in. So at that point, rate doesn't matter. The value you're adding is so much more than anybody else out there. And it's all because of what you're doing in the loan atlas. So I can attribute that. I mean, I've done some of this stuff on my own for the last 15 years from a mortgage planning perspective, but you guys have taken it to a whole nother level that has really increased my game with my clients. And again, I cannot thank you guys enough.
Oh man. Well, our dream is that we can make a change in the mortgage industry so that mortgage professionals believe that they owe the consumer more than just transactional value. And the fact that you are doing it and executing it and having a success with it, there's nothing that could make me and the Loan Atlas faculty happier. I want to just net out a couple of pieces of gold from what I heard you just walk through that story. Number one, I think it is tremendously undervalued how much attention you have from both the buyer's agent and the listing agent when you're in contract. Meaning you may try to get a hold of a listing agent or a buyer's agent for a year and they may never return your phone call. But if you're in contract and you drop a text to a listing agent, hey, it's Jim, I need to give you an update on the financing for your listing at 123 Easy Street. Can you give me a call? You're going to get a call back 100% of the time. So you have the full attention of the buyer's agent and listing agent during that period where you're in contract. Use it to your advantage. Give them updates. Find high impact moments throughout the transaction to connect with them. And you have the right to say, if we execute this flawlessly and get your closing on time and make sure that your commission is protected, would you follow up with me and allow me to have 15 minutes of your time afterwards? Like, you have the right to ask for that in contract. And most agents will say, yes, absolutely. So that was something you pointed out that's very, very valuable. But let me just have you comment on that. Is there anything else you do during that under contract time to kind of create value there?
Well, we do a lot of stuff through video, right? So we'll send video updates because I really want them to build a connection with me. They could read a text and probably dismiss it. They can call me back and hear my voice, but I want them to see my face.
Great call out.
To connect me eye to eye. And I'll talk to them on the phone, but then, I'll give them midweek updates where I just send them a video, say, hey, just want to let you know where we are. Things are on track, appraisal's in, whatever it is. And oftentimes as you go through that, they build that connection with you. And I've had many cases where the agent actually calls me after closing and be like, hey, that was awesome. Let's do that again. So that's, to me, that is the ultimate compliment, is when they're calling you wanting to set up things with you because of the job you did with your team.
That's what winning looks like. That's exactly right. And the last thing that I would just point out is that, when you create a value proposition that is so differentiated from other mortgage originators, and most originators' value proposition is, we have good rates, we communicate well, and we close on time. That's table stakes. If you want to stand out and create a differentiated value proposition, you have to be able to communicate to the realtor how you add value before, during, and after the transaction. How can you help them convert more leads? That's value before the transaction. How can you overcome appraisal issues or other challenges that come up because you have a perfect loan process during the transaction? That's a differentiation. And then after the closing, how can you remain valuable and keep that connection with the customer, increase the frequency of interaction with that customer post-close, that ultimately turns around and makes the realtor more valuable and more likely to get a referral or a repeat business from that customer. So once you've created that before, during, and after value proposition, and you're able to articulate it to realtors, you become, like that broker stopped and said, nobody else is doing this, what you're doing, Jim.
That's true. And that's part of as that presentation that I was doing, as you start to articulate that and say, hey, you know what, 30% of our value is up front, and you walk them through that. And then 10% of what we do is actually just close the loan. And the reason it's only 10% is because anybody with a license can do it most of the time. But 60% of what we do is after closing. And we kind of walk them through how we're going to stay in touch with our clients, how we use our database to help bring them more listings, how are we going to give them some conversation starters, and how are we going to help them manage the conversations with their clients that they're likely mismanaging now and missing out on opportunities. So as you go through and talk about what do you do with a client who's got a low interest rate, who doesn't want to move, or who does wants to move but is afraid to move, how do you help them through those financial transition plans? So I will tell you that one piece of advice that I've been given to agents has turned probably 5 or 6 different agents going, you know what, I had never thought about that. And then they're starting to send me clients saying, hey, this person's got a low rate, but I don't know anything else about their finances. Because we had to remind these agents is that most of the people they're working with are their friends. They're not going to tell them about their $1,500 G-Wagon payment. They're not going to tell them about all the different debts they've got, because most of them know they don't need that stuff, but they'll tell me. And then we can walk them through and get them ready to go and help pick up additional business for them simply because of what we do with our clients.
This has been incredibly valuable. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me, Jim, and the Loan Atlas community. I'll leave it to you for the final closing thoughts. Any words of wisdom you want to share to close us out?
Guys, just dig in. If you can sit here and kind of play around with this, but if you're committed to it, it will make a difference. Everybody on here has been tremendous. The community, if you go into the community and just start typing in things, people will respond. The WhatsApp threads for all this stuff, I've never seen a group of people more encouraging. I mean, I posted a video and Josh, you went in there and created probably a 5-minute deal of how can we improve that? So that is valuable there. I don't care what you spend on this. It's probably worth 10 times what you're going to spend on this. So this is be the number one thing you can do for your business in 2025 is get on the Loan Atlas, start learning, dig in, and you will be amazed at how much difference it's going to make.
Thanks for the kind words, buddy. And as we always say in the Atlas, the genius is in the execution. So get after it. We got a great year ahead of us. And if you found this video valuable, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thanks, Jim.
Awesome.